will just tell when they won the contest, and I'll ask them a very simple question. What is their contest motto? To start off with, we have the District 121 champion of last year, Shalini Mukund, for the table topics. Shalini Mukund, can you tell me what is your contest motto?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishak, for asking that question. Good evening, all the esteemed panelists and my dear friends and guests on the virtual screen. My contest motto is very simple: go with the attitude of doing your best.
Thank you.
If
Go with the attitude of doing your
doing the
best.
best, yes.
Beautiful motto that we have got from our table topic champion. I started off with her because she has quick wits, because she is a table topics champion. Moving on, we have a very humorous person. Very recently in District 92, she won the first place. We have Pavitra R with us, District 92 HSE champion. Pavitra, what is your motto?
My motto for taking part in any contest is to rediscover the younger version of myself, which I had lost in quite a lot of journey in between.
Lovely. So we go back in time, look who we were, and come back. Beautiful motto, Pavitra, from your end. Next, we have another champion. She was the runner-up in the last to last D121 district championship for evaluation. Let me invite Toastmaster Maria. Maria, what is your motto?
Building on what Shalini ma'am said, do your best and adding to it, enjoy the journey. Just enjoy your speech, your evaluation. Have a lot of fun on stage.
Do all of this, enjoy the journey. Thank you, Maria, for that motto. Now, when I asked this person when he won the championship, he said it was sometime in the Jurassic times. So, a person from the Jurassic times in Toastmasters who has won multiple district level championships. For IAC, we have a representation, Distinguished Toastmasters Shabri Girish. What is your contest motto? Shabri, sir, you're muted. You're on mute.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm audible.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, sorry for that delay. My motto is very simple. You go up to the stage for any contest to win. And in case you don't win, go back again there till you win. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Enjoy, win, go back, look back. And these are the mottos that has been told over here to us today. So when I asked our panelists today, do you want the questions beforehand? They said, no, it's fine. Surprise me. And that is what is going to happen today. All questions, the moderators, the panelists don't know what questions are going to come at them. And there'll be 4 segments in today's panel. The first segment, I'll introduce it to you. It is going to be a live dissection. Live dissection in the sense, for example, if a person is going to do an ISC, we are going to do a live dissection of how his mind works in the entire process of an ISC. Starting, like always, we always start with our table topics. I'll start with Shalini, ma'am. Ma'am, for you, the question is very simple. I will give you a table topics. I will give you a topic. You can just do maybe a 45-second to 1 minute table topic. And after that, tell us what went in your mind. From the point of listening to the topic to how you orchestrated you scripted the entire thing, and what are the aspects which each member will need to know. And timer, can I have a red card at the end of 1 minute so that Shalini can get the time? Hopefully the timer will show the red card. Okay, Shalini, is it okay for you? Shall we
Yes.
start the topic for you? Shalini Mukund, the sound of silence. The sound of silence, Shalini Mukund.
It was the year 2022 when I was in one of my Toastmasters Club meetings, and I kept getting this buzz on my phone constantly around 5-6 times. Usually, the case is my family members know that Wednesday evenings, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, they cannot disturb me because I attend Toastmasters meetings. But I was the TMOD that day. And since the phone kept buzzing, the others in the room had to stop the meeting for a while, for a couple of seconds, and tell me pick up the call. I had to take that call, go out of the room, and I understood that it was a call from my mom who was crying on the other side of the phone because my dad had been diagnosed with stage 3 liver cirrhosis. A situation of panic, a situation of sadness. I had to leave the meeting midway and come back home, take my bags, whatever clothes I could put in, and then catch the first flight to Pune. The entire journey, I was only praying that my dad be safe and let him be just out of danger. Whatever could be the treatment after that was something which was coming much later. But I understood in the whole process that I had to just pray to God that this is not the time I want to lose my dad. When I went to the hospital, he was in a much stable state, but then he was breathing very heavily. 5 days in the hospital, the entire 5 nights I stayed with him, and I realized that this was one person so precious. What would really happen if one day he's not there? But then that thought came like a flicker of a second. I chose not to think about it anymore. The only thing I realized in the whole process is I have made a point from that day to call my parents every single day. Call them up, just ask them how they are, have a little bit of a fight, which usually starts with a chit chat and goes to a fight. But then it is important to call them every single day just to hear their sound, just to hear their words. If they call me beta, how are you? That is it. That is the biggest gift. That is the biggest award I've got in the world. I cannot imagine a day when they will not receive my phone call. And that is why I want to cherish all the moments when I spend with them. I sometimes pamper them. When I go to Pune, I just treat them in lavish hotels because I think that is what I can do to my parents for all the good things that they've done for me.
Thank you so much, Shalini. Now we would like to dissect it. Let us. You can just tell us in around 2 minutes. You can take. Tell us what went through you when you heard the topic, and how did you go through your entire table topics. Let us just see what happened in your mind in the process.
So, when you gave me the topic, the sound of silence, the first thing that came to my mind was usually how I attempt table topics is a realistic story. Now, the realistic story could be a part of my story. In this case, it was my story. And it was absolutely silent from the other end when I called my mom. Okay, she was just crying. There was no sound. The thing which I understood here is in table topics, the more we have our stories, which comes from day to day observations. Now, I am not saying here that every day we will have an interesting story or a story of inspiration or a story of courage. But the little things that we observe around is something which I always pack it into a storytelling method. For example, a very, very simple thing to do is I was looking for a CJ for the club contest that is going to happen soon. And trust me, the day we have chosen to have the club contest in District 121 is the same day where other clubs are also doing the contest. But now, finally, I got one CJ and I asked her, I hope you're not, disturbed by the idea that you have to come all the way from Yelanka to Banargata. And she said, no, Shalini, I should also know more people from District 121. So these are those, I observe people a lot. My biggest takeaway would be this is something I would say genetic, my mom's gift, because she is also like that. I observe a lot the way people speak, the stories that they have to share, and I capsule those things. When the topic sounds in such a way that I can add those points, I quickly do that. Now, the next question you can ask me is how are you able to think that this is the story or this is the thing you are going to speak about this topic? I remember a lot of things. Somehow I feel that I have always been very good in connecting things. That is why I connect with people also very easily. Now, what Rajeshwari spoke about you, Toastmaster Vishak, I will remember this. And I can use that as a table topic when I get a chance. Right? Or for that matter, the questions that you're asking people here. So I connect a lot because I observe and I remember things. That is my strategy.
Perfect. So your strategy summarized probably have a lot of stories, observe a lot. When you hear the topic, go ahead with what comes and then make sure your transitions are well connected. Correct? Thank you so much, Shalini, for giving us a proper table topics and also explaining what happens in your mind in the process. Shall we move on to the evaluation? Evaluation is a bit intriguing for me. It actually shows on what happens in the mind. What do you look in a speech? Maria, the thing for you is I have a test speaker. She will just give 3 sentences of her speech, probably just the starting of her speech. Same thing for you. Please evaluate it. And when you evaluate it in a very short manner, and please tell us what goes on in your mind in that process. Is it clear, Maria? Can we
Yeah,
go ahead? Can we
Sure,
have the
sure.
test speaker, Toastmaster Tangam? Are you ready?
Yes, Suresh.
So Toastmaster Tangam will be the test speaker. It will just be 3 sentences, probably just the intro. Please tell us how you evaluate Maria. Toastmaster Tangam, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Rishabh. Do you remember the thrill of stepping into a science lab for practical sessions? The smell of chemicals, the sight of test tube, and the excitement of discovery. Which lab session was your favorite? Back to you, Vishal.
Okay, Maria, it's a very short stint to evaluate. I know many people might find it very difficult, but I am sure that you will be able to evaluate something with this. Let us hear from you, Maria.
All right. Good evening, Toastmasters of District 1 to N and my dear guest. Please excuse me for my voice, and I'm really asking this question. Am I audible? Clear? All right. Toastmaster Tangam, I loved your energy, the passion with which you spoke, and you started off with the questions because all of us immediately started thinking of that one science lab, the smell of chemicals, every single one, right? Anybody who didn't think of it? We all thought of our school lab. You drifted us, back to that chemistry lab. And that was your greatest hook. In the first 30 seconds, you took all the audience with you, and we were all there with you in the science lab, and we wanted to know more about it. It was not like a giveaway, you just, a cliffhanger. Area of improvement, I would suggest, would be like you were sitting and presenting. I know this is in this context, but if you stand up and say, do you remember that? It would be a much more impactful blow to the audience. So in this short time, this is all I could pick up from your wonderful start.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria. Now, can I have what happened in your brain when you got this, and how were you trying to analyze Tangam? I know it will be very particular to you, but can you give those points as well?
Uh, for starters, I had a table topic evaluation, a mix of both on the spot. Whenever I evaluate a speech, there's two things that comes to my mind. You have to evaluate the speech that is being presented today. You're there to evaluate, not to judge. And when you evaluate the speaker, you need to present it, dissect the speech. If it's a 7 to 10 minute, 7-minute speech, dissect it ruthlessly, mercilessly, go all out, But when you present the speech, you have to be the kindest person in there. Your objective as an evaluator is to make sure that this person takes out the feedback and comes back again. Nothing gives me more happiness than seeing my test speaker come back and give a speech. And if I could play a small role in it, perfect. So you dissect the speech through and through and then present it, the way you present it matters. Tell it in the most kindest way. You know what? This could have been improved rather than saying, let's say, for example, the test speaker was over time by 8 minutes, 10 seconds. You're only allowed to speak for 7 minutes. And you're over by 1 minute, 10 seconds. Rather than telling the person you were over time, say, it's better, you should be, check your time. You should always keep the time factor in mind. So be kind to your evaluator. Your objective is to bring that person back onto stage, taking in feedback. So that is one thing that governs my evaluation.
Thank you so much, Maria. Dissect with detail, deliver with empathy, probably.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maria. Now, again, let's go into a very tough contest for 90% of us, probably, and that is the humorous speech contest. Now, we have with us Pavitra R. Pavitra R, for most of us in a humorous speech contest, a joke never lands. We never get a laugh. I am sure you would have also had situations like that. Could you explain one of those jokes which probably you wrote initially, and then how you modified that into a laughable joke?
Okay, that's a brilliant question. And I must confess, my district winning speech I had given it in a club which is just opposite my house. It's a small club. The first time I delivered it, it was a speech about my wedding day. There were 5 guys in the room. I gave a full 7-minute speech controlling my shyness and awkwardness. Nobody laughed. Not a single laughter in 7 minutes. Then I had a roundtable conference with them and I asked them, can you please tell me what went wrong? Was the joke so bad? And the guys told, no, everybody said the jokes were brilliantly written. You know what? You didn't give us time to laugh. I went back home, I opened the script, I rewrote, I cut most of it, and I introduced pauses and where to let my jokes land. So this is one experience which I've personally had, and if I had not tested it, it would have been bombed. And one experience you asked for a joke. So there is a joke in my speech is about how a bride felt during her wedding day. So I was dressed up as a bride and I was giving my speech, and it was the same speech in the division. And there is a joke where I bring in a WWE element where the bride versus groom, the bride won. That's all. When I said that joke, after, of course, the whole script, I saw only women in the house were laughing. So impromptu, I added a joke, husbands in the house can also laugh. And that joke landed more than my entire prepared speech. So those are moments where sometimes you'll have to read the room and land that. And second, most of your jokes have to be tested. It can fail. So in humorous speech, more prep up, more feedback loop, more audience reaction for you to get successful.
Thank you so much, Pavitra R. All husbands in the room, please clap. I don't think that landed. Probably it bombed, but I don't know. I tried. So, as Pavitra said, audience is king when it comes to humorous. That is what I took away from that. Try out and figure out which sentence gets you to laugh. Now, the most important contest, something that which we all crave for, the prepared speech or the ISC, International Speech Contest. And we have with us distinguished Toastmaster Sabri Girish for this segment. So, prepared speech is all about preparation. And most of us are right now, most of us might not have a script right now. And our club contest will be 14 days from now. Assume a scenario where from today you do not have a script, you do not have a speech, and your club contest is 14 days from today. How would you have an idea generation from the preparation point of view, and then the final delivery? What would be that timeline for you?
Thank you, Vishak, and thank you all panelists and all the audience. To me, I have followed something that I learned long back from someone called, what's his name? Edward Tate, who was one of the world champions of public speaking, who says that the speech script is the last thing to do, and you have to start with something called a foundational statement. That foundational statement explains everything about the speech, and it is the theme comes again and again and again, right through the speech, which amplifies it more and more. Having got your foundational statement right, which may be 3 words or 5 words together, what you need to do is to have those 3 segments in the middle, not the beginning, not the end, the 3 segments in the middle. The first, where you give the context where the story is going to happen, you explain the plot. The second, where the tension and the anxiety and the stress begins to build up, at the end of which there is a hook or there is a catch at which everything turns around into a resolution and the message that goes in the third one. If you can script this, you are literally only 50% done, because the greatest impact the speech would have is at the beginning and finally in the end, preferably connecting one to the other. And so this is the model that I do. A foundational statement is the first one, and the 3 elements to it, which makes the beef of the whole speech, the wonderful introduction, and connect it to the end with a fascinating conclusion. That's what you do. How long will it take? One night.
It might take one night for you, but for us, it might take a bit more. All of you, please do prepare. Do not hear that last statement of Sabri Girish. Except for that. But thank you so much. Have a good body conclusion and the intro as well. So now we have gone with the first round. The second round is a bit different. It's going to be a myth-buster round. I will read out few myths that are generally there within Toastmasters, and I'll ask the panelists to find something green and red Do you have something green and red nearby you? If you don't have something green, or oh, you have a Nescafe. Maria has a Nescafe. Yeah, we have red. So green and red, if you have, if not, just have a thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay. I would prefer green and red though. So it's a myth buster. And I will say a statement. If you agree to that statement, show a thumbs up or show the green. And if you disagree to that, show a thumbs down or a red. Okay. I'll read out the first statement. To win at district, your script, you must script and choreograph every single gesture before you get onto the stage. Whoever is showing green, please keep it in front of you, or there's the background will. So we see two greens and Shalini ma'am, it's not visible. Can you keep it in front of you so that the background, yeah. So I see three greens and one no. Whoever said green, can someone just tell us why and why Shabri sir goes for no? Very short, keep it as short as possible. Yeah. Shalini ma'am, yes.
Yeah, so I believe every gesture, every pause, every word, the way you say it counts in ISC. Because
Okay.
that much of practice and preparation goes in. I have heard it from my mentors. I have also heard it from district champions. I have heard it from one of my friend's mentor who was an international champion. She went to the world championship level some years back. She got the second runner-up place. But every gesture, every pause, every movement counts.
Every movement counts. That is one line of thought. Can I also have the other line of thought, Shabri Risha? You're muted, sir.
I personally feel the logic that language develops from gestures, and language and gestures cannot be actually separated at all. There are natural gestures that come with the language, and when you start actually creating gestures for the speech, it may not really sink in well. You should let the body go and gesturize as you speak.
So why is this two sides? What I feel, there are two sides for every myth that is there. Identify which is your side and make sure that you are taking that into your the way you prepare. So this is why this mythbuster is being kept. The second very important thing which I personally want to know, it is impossible.
I think we lost him.
We lost Vishak.
You lost Vishak, yes.
He said it is impossible, and then Zoom
It's
decided
impossible, and he went to
Am I
launch his
here? Am I
rockets.
here?
Yes, he's back.
Yes.
Am I here? Okay. So the impossible, I'll just repeat the statement. It is impossible to win an ISC or international speech contest without a tragic story to make people cry. Shabri sir? Everyone says no. So it need not always have a tragic story. I think we all agree to that as well. But this is something which I personally felt because seeing a lot of speeches, it might happen. Next, it is perfectly okay to take an old speech that lost last year, change the title, rebrand it, tweak a bit, and compete with it again. Pavitra? Yes. Why Maria? Why Pavitra? Maria, let's go with you.
Vishak, I believe so. If your speech has lost, the first thing that you would do is retrospect what went wrong. That's kind of an evaluation. So you will get, as Shalini ma'am said, feedback, multiple feedbacks from people. You will get to know, okay, this is what I have to tweak. So there's a possibility that what didn't work right now with all the feedback that is given by your mentors and the people who heard, there is a possibility that that is improved. Possibility that, it lacked certain elements and that is why it didn't win. And if you tweak it, there is a chance. So go ahead and as long as you take it and tweak it.
Make
That's
it
my
as
take.
perfect as possible.
Yes.
Great. Now, I think Pavitra is the best person to answer this because she had this thing about 1 year to 1 year. Yes, let's hear from Pavitra. Why do you say no?
So for me, basically, I'm an overthinker and I have a lot of thoughts running around me. So I am a person, like I won my HSC now, which is 2 months before. Even that script, I'm able to criticize and find some flaws. So for me, my better version of myself is quite fast, and I'm not very stable in my happiness. Okay, I'm not very satisfied. So if a script has lost for me last year, then I would definitely want to explore many more stories what I have, in my mind, and then go for it and try something new.
Thank you so much, Pavitra. Either sharpen your knife or change the knife. Both are options with you. Do what you feel is better. Thank you. Next is a very, I think most of us feel this. The statement is if you are naturally funny in your friends group or naturally funny, you cannot win an IHSC. If you are not naturally funny, you cannot win a humorous speech contest. I think everyone says no, but I would like a small justification from Pavitra as well. Why no?
I am the biggest living testimony. I started my Toastmaster journey saying I'm not a humorous speaker. Humor is not my forte. I'm known for making people cry. HRs used to issue tissue, that kind of a speech of, I've given. So I started, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. So humorous speech contest is not for those cool dudes who sit on the coffee table and crack jokes. Yes, they can do it, but it is a skill. It is another genre. If you have the will, you can learn the skill.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pavitra. I think you motivated a lot of us to enroll in HSC. And the next question is for all the contests. It's a very general question. It is better to go 5 seconds over time and get disqualified while finishing a point than stop abruptly and leave the speech incomplete. It is better to go over time to finish your point rather than leaving the speech incomplete. So I think 3 people say it is not okay to go overtime. And Maria says it's okay to go overtime. Don't win the contest. Finish the speech. All of you say no. Here, I would not suggest why. I would not ask you why, but I would ask you for a tip for the members on how to ensure you finish on time. Anyone can. Yeah, Maria, please.
All right. So taking into account, I was half and half on this, whether it's abrupt or cutting off the message. So either which way, as Vishak said, you may not make it to the podium place finisher. So in that sense, why not give the message and then leave? At least the message stays with the audience who stays there. Having said that, please do not go overtime. The best way, if you have the cutoff time is 7 minutes, 30 seconds, always aim for 6 minutes, 50 seconds, something like that. If you're reaching 7 minutes, 10 seconds, stop your speech at that. Do not think that, oh, I have 20 seconds more. It's very, very short. So I reiterate, do not go over time. Just because I supported the notion, do not go over time. If your time buffer is 7 minutes, 30 seconds, tell yourself you just have 7 minutes and you have to finish it at that.
Thank you so much, Maria. Any techniques that you guys use, Maria or anyone else?
Can I say something?
Yeah, please do, Shalini.
So my belief is when time is given to you, that it is 7 minutes, 30 seconds, the really sad part is you go till the district, you've crossed all the levels, club, area, division, and you go till the district. At least be in the finalist, but not get disqualified. I mean, that is the worst that can happen to someone. So my idea of looking at this would be finish that 10 seconds early. Instead of taking 5 seconds extra, finish 10 to 15 seconds early. Draft the speech in such a way that the number of word count and the way you have to do your pauses, because I have seen almost all the world champion speeches, they all have very strategic pauses. They're not pausing because they want to. The pauses are very strategic. So, and if you see the pattern also, all the world champions finish in 7 minutes, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. They don't go up to 7:30. So it is very important that if you have made it to the district, like I was very happy because I saw Pavitra getting the district championship. If you make it to the district, you have to nail it there. You cannot come back and say that I got disqualified at a district contest. It's like you have passed all the junior level exams, but when you are at the board exam, you get 35 marks. There you have to get 100 only. No settling.
Perfect.
That is my
So
philosophy.
all of us are going to write our board exams right now. All of us are going to score 100. Whoever has attended, whoever has not attended, don't tell them the secret. Yes. So now moving on, I would like to ask one last question in this segment. You cannot beat a native level English speaker if you have a heavy mother tongue influence, no matter how good your content is. If you have a mother tongue influence, you cannot win. This is a myth that is generally there, and I think everyone, Shabri sir also disagrees, I'm assuming. Okay, I assumed it and it's right. And I think this is a myth which is there, and it is something which has to be broken. I'm not going to ask for the explanation. Now, we'll go to the next segment. How was it? Mythbuster was okay? Were the myths generally there? It's fine. So let's go to the next segment. Next segment is basically a timeline. Timeline in the sense, I want to start from the just before the contest Toastmaster calls your name. What is your feeling? And let's move back step by step. It can start with Maria probably because I've seen her walking around in the audience. She will try moving out of the hall. I've seen that entire process. Maria, what do you think just before the contest? How do you prepare yourself? How do you keep your anxiety levels low?
Thank you, Vishaga. And I just got to know that you're very, very observant. Yeah, first is, nothing beats the feeling of being onto a district stage, the finals. I call it, I've always craved for that stage, and, getting there was like a big dream come true. Having said that, you also have this fear that, the small voice that creeps in. Are you going to mess it up? It's such a grand stage. What if you mess it up? And a lot of what if comes in. So I believe at that point of time, what I do is I move out of the crowd, just sit there and try to calm myself to the best maximum possible, possible. It's hard, but, just try to calm yourself and you remind yourself that this comes once in a lifetime. You have 7 minutes with you, or, you have 3 minutes with you. It's up to you whether you have to go there, be anxious, nervous, and, bunk it all, or you give your best shot and come back like, yeah, I did my best and, enjoy the stage. So that's what, when I'm on stage, I just want to enjoy there. Yeah.
Thank you. Your smile says it all. When you're saying it, you're feeling that enjoyment in your smile right now. Thank you so much, Maria, for explaining that point. Next, I'll go to Shabri, sir. There is one thought that always come into up these things when we have a prepared speech, probably a night or 2 nights before the main contest. We will be thinking whether this speech is okay, whether I need to change it a bit here and there. Should I make this change? Your mentor told you this, mentor told you to stand, mentor told you to sit. All of this in a 48-hour window. How do you manage that 48-hour window before an ISC? You're muted, sir.
This is a custom-made question for me and me only because I keep tinkering with these speeches till the last moment you go up there. It doesn't work well at all. In fact, very late in my life, I have realized that, like you said, 48 hours is the green room time, everything done, closed. Do not make a change even if the past world champion of public speaking comes and says there. Because we are looking in a microscopic way, what this can probably be interpreted by the audience this way, that way. Actually, it's not. It's a large mass of the speech when it comes out. Nobody actually notices the small differences at all. And by the time you are 48 hours prior to the speech, just retain it as it is and just go ahead and do it. Don't make any changes. And I have seen it in myself screwing it up, as well as many others who do it in the last moment.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sabri. So all of you, 48 hours, script is fixed. Now, this is 48 hours. We also said just before the speech. Let's go into the speech on the stage. Okay. On the stage, maybe you're doing a TT, you're doing an IAC, any of these, but you blank out. And Shalini, if in case you blank out for a second, how do you salvage that situation?
Thank you so much for that question, Vishak, because this is one thing which I address to all my trainees as well. So first thing I would say is we have to practice many times before we go on the stage. For some, it could be 25, for some, it could be 50. If you know about DTM Maria Di Costa, who got the 3rd place in the district ISC, she had practiced her speech 100 times for the district contest. So practice makes a man perfect. Those who don't practice, they will falter, they will forget. Okay. Now, second thing, Toastmasters, although I very much agree with the fact that only native English speakers are not the ones who are designed to win any contest. The thing is, typically as Toastmasters, we should read. I believe even if somebody had never read a book in his or her life, if you're a Toastmaster, you should start reading maybe 10 minutes per day. I don't go by the volume, I go by time because reading helps. In my case, I have not forgotten any of my speeches, but in case I forget, what I try to do is again, I'm a very observant person. I remember things, what I read, and everyday reading has sharpened me. So I will quickly pick an anecdote or something which comes to my mind and fix it there. This is an art I have, I won't say I was very good at, but I have learned over the period of time. Because all my, if I have to introduce you as an MC, Vishak, if it is a 3-page MC introduction, I won't look at the paper. When I was doing the mid-year MC conference, I was one of the MCs. I did not look into the paper for 2 hours. So I have mastered that art. Now I'm doing evaluations at the club level without seeing the paper. So we have to become the better version of ourselves and cannot say that, oh my God, if I forget the speech in between. Okay, we
Thank
have
you
to
so
be,
much.
yeah, we should not get into that anymore. At least now, not now anymore because we are district champions.
So, Shalini, yes, everyone, please do prepare. Never have the situation in your life, but if it ever comes, make sure to have some safety phrases, like because when you read a lot, you have a lot of phrases with you, and use that if in case you ever encounter this situation. Thank you so much, Shalini. Now, moving on, the last question. Pavitra, the joke does not land. There are zero laughs. You have given 5-second pause for them to laugh. What do you do?
One is in a district stage, that should not ideally happen because, like I mentioned, you would have practiced for humor when you know 15 marks is audience reaction. Even the audience reaction should be predictable. So, as many times you need for an ISC, you need more than that as well for humorous speech because it's a very highly unpredictable zone. So, not getting laugh at all for something where you got a smile or at least a little bit of laughter is surprising. Now, if that happens, you should have some kind of a backup lines which works or which could work instantaneously. For instance, for my district champion speech, I was draped in a 9-yard sari. There were a lot of props on my head. I was almost prepared for either me to trip and fall or the mic to trip and fall. I had prepared that if I trip and fall, because it's a wedding speech, I'll have lines like, is my mother-in-law spirit somewhere around? Or if the mic falls, this is what marriage can do. Something like that to ensure you do get some laugh. Not getting laugh is not affordable. Worst case, you do everything and nobody laughs. You laugh and then move on to the next line. Don't waste your time. That's all I can suggest.
Thank you so much, Pavitra. Plan extensively. If no one laughs, you laugh. Thank you so much for everything, Pavitra. Final question. This is the last segment. It is a single question to all of you, same question. And I would like one sentence only for this answer. After that, we'll go to the audience. So, the question to all the panelists is, if you could go back in time to the moment before your very first contest and whisper one advice in your ear, what would it be? If you could go back to the time before the first contest, very first contest of yours, and whisper just one sentence, what would that sentence be? Anyone can start.
I would have said so. It's not very long back for me. Last year was my first time I contested. If I could whisper, I would say, please just have fun. That's it.
Please just have fun. Shabri sir?
Practice. That's it.
Practice. Practice is everything. Yes. Shalini Mukund.
Enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process. And Maria?
Mhm. I think it was 4 years back. I would say stick to your version of the speech. Yours.
Stick to your version of the speech. Lovely. These are the things which they would want to say to their younger versions. And I feel if you are a starting first timer today, these are the things that we should also take into play. Now, let's open up for Q&A. We have another 2 to 3 minutes. And I'll just look at the chat right now. Based on the questions in the chat, we will pick one or two and then we will stop. If you have any questions, please put it down in the chat. I think Manasa has raised her hand. So probably we'll go with Manasa first and then the second question from the chat.
Yeah. Thank you, Vishak, for giving me this opportunity. My question is to Shalini, Toastmaster Shalini Mukund. If you remember, in the last week, we had this table topic mania, right? Where you had given me a topic of back to zero. When I got the table topic, it is not like that I do not know the instances which has happened in my life. I had one or two instances, but for few topics, especially for a table topic, when it is asked, I go completely blank. At that point, I will not be able to recall any of the instances and also that my experience. Maybe I'm also new to the Toastmaster Club. It might take a time. What is the best thing to do at that time? Can I say that I'm not able to recall, or I'm not able to talk about that, or how to deal such situation?
Okay, thank you for that question. I will quickly answer this. This is one of the myths. Probably, we should keep in mind that all of us think that I can only do table topics if the topic is known to me. Now, just imagine as a human being, if we are entitled to a lifespan of 70 or 80 years, it is not possible to know about every topic in the world. Is it? It's not. So, what you can do is you have to look at how you bring the topic to the best of your advantage. Let it be any topic. Supposing you are not a student of quantum physics, but you get a topic on quantum physics, make a funny story out of it. In the end, what you have to see is what is the value you are adding to the audience. Now, value adding to the audience need not come only from serious topics. It can come from a very humorous topic. And that value, how you will add to the audience is, since you are a new Toastmaster, participate a lot in table topics in the club. Go to other clubs, online clubs, participate. Take any topic as simple as what is your hobby. Okay? Then you will understand that through your observations and your life experiences, the value adding part will also be a cakewalk for you. That is what you are
Thank you.
supposed to do.
Thank you so much, Shalini, and thank you for the question as well. Again, I think it's all about practice, doing it as much as possible. I think Niranjan has raised his hand. So let's go for Niranjan. And then probably one more. In the chat, I'm not able to see is there any question put in the chat? No, right? Okay, so we'll go for Niranjan itself. Niranjan,
Yes.
please keep your question a bit short
Yeah.
so that we can save a bit time. Yeah.
Yes. So this is my first time I'm going to contest. So I'm going to contest in both ISC and table topics. So I hear a lot of people saying that it's better to actually contest in both ISC and table topics. I just want to know how you balance between preparing for ISC and table topics. And because you can take analogies and anecdotes from various books, because I read a lot of books since I was young. So I just want to know how you do that.
Thank you so much, Niranjan. Is it directed to some panelist or can we ask the panelist?
Common
Yeah,
question.
any panelist can answer this question.
I think, Niranjan, the simple rule is this. For the ISC, you practice. For the table topics, you don't. If you keep your mind open, table topics will just come out. But ISC is just the other way. That's it.
Vishak, you're on mute.
Vishak, you're on mute.
I think Udaya, can we have the question from you and then we'll wrap up the Q&A.
Yeah. So I have a question that I always struggle with the I and you aspect of a speech. It could be IAC, it could be humorous speech contest, it could be table topics. So we need to include the audience aspect. So how do you balance that I and you in a speech?
Vishak, I can take that.
Please do.
Yeah. Udaya, so my belief is this: in a speech, any topic, any premise you choose, the story or the journey, irrespective of whatever the key message you want to deliver, starts with inward. It's your personal story, how you see the topic, how do you interpret, even if it's a TT or a ISC or a HSC. When you reach the end of the storytelling, after you've told your version, how you transform, what is your perspective, the conclusion or the takeaway, the whole reason why the audience is seated there it opens up to outward. So there might be instances where the audience is not able to relate to your speech, but definitely should be able to relate to the key message. So example, if you're talking about a scuba diving or any such sport, that's the speech theme. Not everybody is related to. But if your key message or the value add you're giving, which is outward, moving from I to we, is something like go for it, try something new, even if it's something fearful. If that's the simple message you have, that should be outward and should include the geographics, the culture, the mindset, where any human being should be able to understand that. So I to we or inward to outward is something which will truly work for any speech you try. TT, HSC, ISC.
Words can be specific, the message should be general. Thank you so much, Pavitra, for that wonderfully crafted answer. Now, I just got a ping from our division director that we have time till 8:25. Do not close early. So we still can take questions a bit, probably one or two more questions if anyone wants to. Yes, Shambhavi Naik.
Yes, thank you. My question was personally for the table topics. Sometimes you prepare a lot, but when you are on stage, you're not able to speak more on content, and you keep on waiting till you have to see the green card so that you just qualify. Then you keep on repeating the sentences over and over again because your brain is freezed and you're not getting anything more. So how do you deal with that situation?
Is the question for me?
Yes, Shalini Mukund, you can take the question.
Okay, so my first thing that I would like to tell you is become a storyteller. Even if you practice 100 topics, you may get the 101st topic as the district topic or the division topic because you have no idea what topic you are getting. So first thing is become a storyteller. Second thing, generally sometimes the topics are long. The topics are long. Listen to the topic very clearly. Okay, one of the things that you could do is you can pick up keywords from the topic and craft your story. Always remember, whichever way you want to address the table topics, if you make it inspiring, great. If you make it engaging, very interesting. If you make it funny, fine. But don't have a very drastic, sad story for a table topic because that doesn't give any value to the audience. I remember once at a district contest, I was an audience, and one of the table topic speakers spoke about death. Now, what is the value you're adding? That's something inevitable, right? So it doesn't matter what topic you get. Go with the first thoughts that come to your mind. Become a storyteller. And from here, what you can do is you can, all of us, if you want to go for table topics, we should look at how we can look at the stories from our childhood, school days, college days. Remember that one math professor who used to stick you with a cane, but that man or woman taught a lot to you in life. You have to go back and collect a lot of such stories because ultimately at the district stage, the stories help you with the value in the end. You may have a story from the past, 20 years back, but the value could be connected to the relevance of the present and the future. That is the art we have to build. And that comes a lot from observations.
If you write a book on life, it will just be a big story book. And make sure you take pages out of that for your table topics. Thank you so much, Shalini, for that wonderfully crafted answer. Kavita, can we have your question? Try to keep the question a bit short, and also you can direct it to whichever the panelist is required. Kavita, you can speak. You're muted right now. I think Kavita's this is not available. Kavita is not saying. If anyone, Niranjan, I think, yeah, Niranjan, you can. I think someone else had come. Samir. Samir, let's have a question from you. Toastmaster Samir, we can have your question.
Yes. My name is Sumit Sawan. I'm a new Toastmaster in last December. My English is not that much good, and my grammar is not that much good, and vocabulary also that not much good. So, how I started means preparation for grammar and vocabulary to increase to confidence in speeches like this. So, can you?
Can I take that, Bishop?
Please do, Maria. You're the perfect person for that question.
Toastmaster Samira, actually, I'll tell you one thing. You've already started your journey. That first step, I have started my preparation. Do a lot of speeches, do a lot of table topics. I would suggest table topics is one of the most impactful way. In that way, you'll get a lot of feedback from your evaluators. This was not right. You could rephrase it in such a way. Make sure you make a mental note and you understand why that was incorrect. So some of the common errors or the grammatical errors, since you mentioned grammatical errors, I would suggest is the subject-verb agreement. So you have, when you talk about a singular person, what is the verb that has come? There is a, there's a high possibility we all make mistakes in that. So when you understand why that was, each time your evaluator says, this was a grammatical error and this could be rephrased like that, make it a point to understand why it was incorrect and how I can make it. And make sure that, with every time that you practice, you make sure that consciously make sure that you do it. So do a lot of speeches. Do not let go of any single speech slot or, table topics. Just go for it. Keep practicing as much as you can. So you will get there. So that is one of, one foolproof way to improve your grammar.
Thank you so much, Maria. Go practice,
Thank you, ma'am.
ask why, and then correct. Thank you so much, Maria. I think Kavita is back. Niranjan, we'll take one question per person so that we'll this thing. Niranjan, you can put it in the chat. One of our panelists will reply to you.
Hi everyone. I wanted to ask, how do the champions train their voice? I find it very difficult to speak fast. My tongue slips. So how do you train?
Which panelist would like to take this very nice question? I think everyone is muted right now. Very bad
Kavita is
table
on
topic.
mute. Can I go
Yes,
again?
sure.
Okay, Toastmaster Kavita, I have the same struggle. I have pretty much a neutral tone. So when I have to mimic two people, in the last speech that I had to act as my mom and my grandmom. And there are three female tones that I should, bring in. The only way is keep practicing in a high-pitched tone, not in a shrilly way, but high-pitched, the maximum that you can get comfortable with, and then a deep-pitched tone to distinguish it. It comes with practice. There is a chance for me, it was a little bit of difficulty to mimic three people like that. So there's one more thing that you can do. You can even add a fake accent, like a little bit of British accent here and there, a little bit of American accent. The whole point is when you go for a voice modulation, if it involves characters, is that the audience should understand, okay, this is this character, this is that character. And if you want to make a shrill or this one, sometimes you'll have to exaggerate your voice. I'm not able to do that, but you'll have to exaggerate your voice, push it out there. It might be a little dramatic, but you'll have to do it there. Again, that's just my take. I hope there are others in the panel who can help me out in that. That's just my 2 cents.
Thank you
If I
so
might,
much. Please do,
if I might add
Kavita, you
on,
can.
Vishal.
Yeah.
Kavita, I think we need an education session. This is a huge topic in itself, but just to, keep it very crisp. So typically when we say voice, right, people either think of high, low, or Maria mentioned about characterization, but typically in voice, it has V triple P. V stands for volume, P stands for your pitch. Pitch is your emotion, right? And then another P for pause and another P for pace. So all 4 of it, if you take care, which comes only by practice. And this is one method I try when I kind of train children and with my own at home. So when you read every day for 5 minutes, a storybook, right? If you can improve it every day with VPPP, it is a great practice to overall go about, and then it becomes genetic when you start doing your speeches.
Thank you so much, Pavitra. I don't have a kid right now near me, so I'll read out to someone or the mirror, but I'll do practice that. It's a very good technique. Thank you so much, Pavitra. I think the timer is showing the red card, and we
Vishal,
have
can I
had.
add just one thing
Please
to
do.
what Pavitra said?
Please do,
Because you
Shal.
mentioned storytelling, I'm just typing a name in the chat. Now, he is a storyteller whom I had the privilege to work with in 2017. Just go and check for Craig Jenkins. He's an awesome storyteller. You will learn a lot of voice modulation from the stories that he has narrated, all for kids. Just go and type Craig Jenkins. He's one of the best storytellers in the world.
So how many of you have already typed it? Raise of hands. No? Type it out. It would be a very good experience for you as well. So now we have done around 40 to 50 minutes of a questionnaire session with champions, different years, different types of speeches. But in the crux of it all, it was today's speech title, or the title of today's segment, Idea to Impact. We saw 4 people who had ideas in them, and they crafted it in a way which created an impact in a Toastmasters community. We have got few secrets here and there from them. Now it is our turn. Our turn to change whatever ideas, stories that are there in our lives to something impactful. Probably a small trophy at the end saying first prize, contest. If not, just a small 7-minute video that you will always go back and look to. Oh my God, I gave that speech. Or just that smile when you talk back about that contest, like how Maria had. It might be any of these might be the impact, but it is your time right now to change that idea to an impact. With that said, let me hand over the stage to distinguished Toastmaster Neville J. Paul for the closing address.
Thank you, panel moderator Vishag. And what can I say? I joined in between, and right from that moment, hearing the panelists speak, I realized that I missed the beginning and a lot of points. I'm so thankful that it is getting recorded. I'm extremely sorry that I missed the beginning, but really wanted to be there. And that said, the interactions, the points, the knowledge sharing that happens. I mean, if this session had happened before the club officers training program, where I had to take a session on how do you increase membership, how do you retain membership, I could have given this session as an example that you don't get this kind of knowledge gain, this kind of networking anywhere else. It happens only in Toastmasters, through Toastmasters, and by Toastmasters. With this selfless worth of sharing time and their insights and their knowledge and their experience. Because trust me, they are also contestants who are going to participate in contests. You will be meeting them at some level or the other. It could be at club level, it could be at area level, it could be at division level or at district level or at the international level. You never know. But in spite of that, they are not holding back from sharing their knowledge at all. So that is a wonderful, wonderful, selfless, expressive Toastmastering that you have got here. So big round of applause for all our panelists and for our panel moderator for bringing in thoughtful, thought-provoking questions to them that help them to bring out their points in such a crisp manner. And kudos to our timers and all the folks who have worked behind the scenes. So I will start with the panelists who are the stars of the show. Toastmaster Pavitra, Toastmaster Dr. Shabri Girish, Toastmaster Shalini Mukund, Distinguished Toastmaster Maria, and of course our panel moderator. All of them, without any hesitation, accepted the invite and they were ready to do this session. So thank you for that. Thank you, panel moderator Vishak, for coming up with this interactive format. You informed the panelists that the format is going to be a surprise, and our panelists were also like, yeah, we like surprises, bring it on. We don't need to know what the format is. We'll take it as it comes. So that was wonderful. To Tangam, who created the poster for the event, to Mathukuti, who created the agenda and, of course, created the group, and to all the Toastmasters of Division G and beyond. Thank you for taking time and joining, because without you, the session would have been incomplete. With just the 6 of us being there, it wouldn't have made any sense. Your time, your effort, and your commitment to being a better you is what makes this session meaningful. And it is what inspires us also to come up with such sessions in future. Right. So on that note, let me call upon our beloved Division D Division G Director, sorry, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajeshwari, to close the session. Raji?
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Neville Jose Paul. That's our Division G PQD, the powerhouse, who has addressed the gathering. So nothing else to add on, but a big thank you from the bottom of my heart for one and all who have joined and made use of the session. It's contest season, and I know now onwards, whichever contest you are attending, you will be shining brighter, because we know all the secrets from the champions, and those who missed it, they missed it. That's all from Division G. And we will come back with such wonderful sessions for helping all our members and beyond Division G also. We are extending the invite so that everybody can learn and support each other. We will come back with a wonderful session quite soon, and I hope you all will join back. That's all from us. Thank you for joining, and the floor is open for networking. I will be stopping the recording right away. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.